Sylvester Stallone Inspirational Story of Writing and Starring in Rocky. It doesn't matter if you are a movie buff or not, you most definitely have heard of the Rocky movie franchise. The now successful and household name Sylvester Stallone became an overnight sensation thanks to that movie. But when it comes down to the origins of how the iconic 1976 film was made, many don't know the truth. In this video, let's take a trip down Hollywood Lane and look at the inspirational story of how Sylvester Stallone came to write and star in the movie Rocky. Do you want a personal shout out in our next video? Quick! Be the first comment in the comment section down below and you will receive a shout out in the next Binge-Worthy Network video. We should warn you, you might cry, so make sure you have some tissues nearby. Before we jump straight into the legendary story, let's take a quick look at Stallone's backstory and life. Everyone has heard of the film star and Hollywood legend Sylvester Stallone. He is undeniably one of the biggest names in the entertainment business, and every actor and actress wishes for a role in his movies. The now 73-year-old star was born in Manhattan, New York, and like most actors' early careers, Stallone struggled hard before he got his breakout role. From small film roles as extras in the background to starring in an adult film in his early 20s, there was nothing Stallone didn't try in order to get some cash. Sylvester had traveled all over the world and the US in the hopes of getting any major role in a film. By the age of 26, the actor settled down in New York City. With small roles in unremarkable TV shows and off-Broadway shows, after the A-lister struggled to land any role that would pay well, he decided the East Coast was not the place for him, so he packed up his bags and moved to the City of Angels. By 1975, the actor was living in Los Angeles and looking for stable jobs left and right. As you can imagine, the competition for any on-screen time is incredibly harsh in LA. Everybody wants to make it as a star, and up-and-coming actors are somehow convinced that once they step into the West Coast city, movie roles will appear out of nowhere. Tired and burdened by constant rejection from auditions, Stallone became seriously disheartened and hopeless. The actor struggled very hard during his 20s. After he moved to Los Angeles, problems just started to accumulate, and at some point, he hit rock bottom. He only had $106 in his bank account. He had no car and was thinking about selling his loyal dog. "I actually had to go out and try to sell my dog because it was either that or he wasn't going to be very well fed around the house," said Stallone. But everything changed on a fateful spring night, which ultimately led to a $1.5 billion box office franchise. On March 24, 1975, after years of failure and rejection, Stallone wound up watching the Muhammad Ali vs. Chuck Wepner fight. While some might have just seen the fight for entertainment, Stallone left the stadium inspired and hopeful than he had ever been before. The actor opened up about this extraordinary experience. After seeing Chuck Wepner get knocked down by one of the world's most famous and successful boxers and stand up again to finish the fight, Stallone got inspired by the notion. He thought getting knocked down and standing up was a metaphor for life. Sometimes you lose, you take a shot, you get knocked down, but after fighting for a while, you'll stand up again and become victorious. And that night, after Stallone got home, he sat down for 20 hours straight and started writing a script for a movie that would be nominated for 9 Academy Awards and winning 3 of them. It took the actor 3 days to write a 90-page script, and while the whole story was written and told on paper, only a third of his original script was used in the movie. Stallone had the story, now he needed people who could produce it into a movie. During one audition, after being rejected for the part, Stallone took the opportunity to present his movie script to the producers. The interested executives told the actor to bring in the script so they could see what he was working on. After they read and fell in love with the script, it was obvious that these rich Hollywood producers wanted to create the film. And because Sylvester Stallone was a nobody back then, they, of course, did not want the New York native to star as the main character of Rocky Balboa. The executives first offered the screenwriter $360,000 to give up his rights of the script and to sell it completely. As this was a huge offer, and at the time Stallone was extremely poor and in need of money, the actor had to think things through. While the large sum of $360,000 was more than Sylvester needed at the time, he knew that if he gave up his genius script, he would ultimately regret it. He thought hard about his decision and decided not to sell it and to push the producers for a better deal. Because these executives were experienced in the film industry, they knew what would sell and be a box office hit. These Hollywood big shots knew that if they said no to the Rocky script, they would be losing a lot of money and even bigger opportunities. Finally, a decision was made, and the producers gave Stallone $1 million to make the movie he could star in. Even for the 1970s, the $1 million budget for a movie was significantly small. By comparison, the successful and adored 1975 film Jaws had a $9 million budget. So how exactly could Stallone shoot and star in a movie that had such a low budget? Well, the actor was smart and started to use methods that were very cost-efficient. When it came to actors and extras, he used friends and family members in the film. For very expensive camera equipment, Stallone decided to use handheld cameras instead of the costly tripods and large light reflectors. But when it came down to shooting the scenes, the actors and producers had no other choice but to shoot some scenes with only one take. That is sometimes considered impossible, even in everyday and light-action films. So you can imagine how hard it must have been to film such an action-packed movie. But alas, with all the obstacles and challenges, the film was finally done and ready to be shown in film theaters. As any movie goes, the main indicator for a successful film is the viewing figures and box office numbers. The love and admiration for the movie were incredible and unpredictable. This heartwarming and powerful film became an inspiration to millions across the world. Everybody knew who Rocky Balboa was, but more importantly, Sylvester Stallone finally got his big break in the film industry. Rocky became a sensation. The movie went on to gross over $200 million at the box office. The film, which had a 90-page script and a nameless unknown actor as the main character, ended up winning Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Film Editing. Sylvester Stallone soon after became a mega A-lister and a recognized figure not only in Hollywood, but everywhere else in the world as well. This incredible, inspirational story goes to show that if you believe in something, you should never give up. Sometimes life may get hard. You may be knocked down, but the important thing is to pick yourself up and stand taller than before. Remember, Sylvester Stallone only had $106 to his name. He had no job, no car, and even had to think about selling his dog for some food. He was a nobody. But after not giving up, after years of struggling and fighting, he finally got his redemption. Now, Stallone is not only an actor, but a producer, director, and screenwriter who has a net worth of $400 million, and his movies have generated more than $4 billion in global revenues. A truly inspirational story that has inspired thousands across the globe. Were you surprised to find out about the true origin story of Rocky? Did you know Sylvester Stallone's life struggles? Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from us. See you next time.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.